Dear student, today we are going to discuss one of the important part of research, and that is the procedures of research. In other words, we can say procedure means the steps through which we can conduct smooth research. For that we have to follow certain steps. In this discussion, in this part, first we discuss the meaning and definition of research, which we have already discussed in our part 1. Besides this, we also discuss the major steps of research. In that, first we discuss about the selection of topic 2, the generalization or findings. When we talk about the smooth research or systematic research, we have to follow certain steps. Without step, we cannot move a step forward, and if we move a step forward, we will astray. Hence, we have to follow all these steps through which we can conduct smooth research. When we talk about the meaning and definition of research, man's inquisitive nature, that is nature of curiosity, made him try to understand the events along with their regions from the very beginning. The only difference that came with the passage of time was that while the ancient man, unable to understand the causes of the events, all due to the lack of the knowledge, accepted them as divine will, the present man tries to know the basic rules which governs those events, that goddess will, or they do not explain events with the help of divine power. It means certain causes are responsible for the phenomena or the problems. We want to find out the causes behind the problems or the events. When this inquisitive nature of man takes the form of systematic study of a phenomena, then it is called research. When this research is in the field of social science to discover the new facts of social phenomena, social events or social problems, then this research is known as social research. Social research propounds new knowledge and theories about the society, its system and changes. Social research makes efforts in a systematic manner to find solution to the problems of the society, to obtain accurate knowledge about its condition and direction, and to know the impact of science and technological development. Parthanath Mukherjee has clarified that the meaning inherent in the word research is by adding the prefix anu and sandhan. Its meaning is related to investigation or discovery in which new findings and rules or principles are formulated. We want to find out the new facts about a problem, about an event, is known as social research. These new findings are validated by research. This validity is achieved because through scientific method and rational analysis and discussion, the facts are correctly linked to each other and are shown to be interrelated with a cause and effect, and this relationship, this interrelationship is known as causal interrelationship, is shown between them in his word. Where will social research be in any scientific study of society if it takes the scope of any social problem and obtains such knowledge about it, which is not only new for the people of the society, but is also useful. The production of such scientific knowledge goes through a process of validity which has three main bases. First is methods used to study the problem, that is systematic method to study a problem. Those methods have been used reliably and the data obtained from them are valid, and the new and valid knowledge or information about obtained has yielded clear result. Social research is considered to be based on scientific method. When we talk about the scientific method, means systematic methods, and we have to follow 4 important steps for scientific method. First is observation, then collection, then classification and tabulation, and then generalization. This is known as systematic method, and through systematic method we reach up to the final conclusion, that is generalization. Social research is considered to be based on scientific method, that is systematic method, in which various events or phenomena or facts of the society are directly collected and analyzed in a logical and systematic manner, and such conclusions are given just like an open book. Anyone wants to verify it, they can. Therefore, the biggest feature of social research is that it declared method such that any researcher can use it and can prove the validity and reliability of the streams of knowledge, principles, rules and sub-rules. This is one of the important discussion Parthanath Mukherjee has discussed about the research. Similarly, P.V. Young also discussed about the social research. She said that social research means to find out the new facts or verifying the old facts, and to find out the causal interrelationship is known as social research. When we want to conduct smooth research or a systematic research, we have to follow certain steps. These are known as steps of social research, or we can say procedures of research. Social research works to systematically study any social phenomena and find out causal relationship. To conduct research, a ladder is required, which are called steps of research, and only on the basis of these steps we can finalize the research. The steps of social research are: the first important part is selection of topic. If we ask a person, what are you doing, and she replied that I am doing research, so our first question is, on which topic you are doing research. That is known as selection of topic. To study topic should be new. 3 important elements is required for selection of topic. First is topic should be new. The topic chosen for research should be such that no one has already studied it. If the topic is not new, then it should not be one that has been studied by many people. The second important part is the subject of study should be interesting. What we mean by interesting subject is that the respondent should be ready to answer immediately. That is, the subject should have the ability to generate interest, that is, create or develop interest among the respondent is known as the topic should be interesting. Similarly, the third important part is the study topic should be related to the respondent, directly related with the respondent. More and more response we will get. When we choose the topic, we should also see whether the topic is related to the respondents or not. If respondents are impressed by the topic, more responses will be received. Therefore, the topic must be relevant to the respondent. 3 important tasks we have to follow if we select a suitable topic for our research. After selection of topic, the second important step is study of relevant literature, so that we can acquire more and more knowledge about the topic. To study a subject, complete information about it is necessary. A researcher should choose a topic and study the available literature related to it before going into the study area, for which he should read books, articles, magazines, etc. related to that subject. This helps the researcher to present his point of view clearly and helps in comparison with the facts collected by the researcher. This is important step. Without going on this step, we cannot understand the topic clearly. Hence, study of relevant literature is one of the important part of social research. After study of relevant literature, the third important step is formulation of hypothesis. Before starting social research, it is mandatory to formulate a hypothesis. Now question arises, what hypothesis is? Hypothesis is just a tentative generalization, the validity which remains to be tested. This definition is divided into two parts. First is just tentative, not final, tentative generalization, and second is the validity which remains to be tested. After collection of data and on the basis of the data, we can verify our hypothesis whether that may be proved or that might be wrong. Hypothesis is most important step of research. We cannot move a step forward without formulation of hypothesis. According to Cohen and Nagel, if we want to start a study without a hypothesis, we cannot move even a step forward. While defining hypothesis, Lundberg had said that hypothesis is just a tentative generalization. The validity remains to be tested. Hypothesis has been compared to a compass, that is compass needle, which gives the direction, which gives information to the researcher from time to time as to how he should proceed with the study. Therefore, hypothesis as important steps of research. If we formulate a hypothesis, we can save our time, money and power, etc. After formulation of hypothesis, the fourth step is selection of study area and units, where we want to study, where we want to conduct our research. This is known as the study area. After formulating the hypothesis, the researcher selects the study area and unit of study. In this, he decides which will be the study area, that may be rural area or urban area, town or city. And if we select a rural area or city, who are the respondents, who are the units? First we decide village or town and which area in the city, and also decides which class of his respondent will be, that is male or female, younger or older, literate or illiterate. It is important for the researcher to pay attention to all these things. This may be directly linked with our topic. For example, my topic is impact of industrialization on rural area. So, the research area is rural area. This is clear in the, my topic is problems of younger generation who are living in cities. The research area is city. So, this is directly linked with our topic. On the basis of the research topic, we can select our research area, that may be rural, urban, male, female, older, younger, literate, illiterate, etc. After selection of area and units, we will select the sampling. Before starting the research, the researcher will decide whether he will study the universe. Universe means study of all the units related to the study. If there is more time and resources, then the universe can be studied, otherwise not. If our universe is small in size, then a researcher can study the whole unit, that is universe. If respondents are less in number, then it is quite easy for a researcher to study the all respondent. But if research area is large in size and a researcher cannot study all the respondent of that universe, then he choose sampling. In sampling, if one chooses the units of study as per one's own will, then it will be a non-probability sampling, and if one selects the sample from the whole through scientific method without using one's own will, then it would be a probability sampling. It means sampling is selection of sample from a universe, that is smallest representation of a larger whole. In a large universe, if we select few persons, is known as sample. There are two types of sampling is there. One is probability sampling and second is non-probability sampling. When we talk about the probability sampling, means we select the sample from the universe with the help of a systematic method or scientific method, and without using our choice is known as probability. And when we talk about the non-probability sampling, means we select the sample from the universe with the help of our own choice and never use any systematic method or scientific method, that is known as non-probability sampling. Sampling save time, money and energy of the researcher, and at most the same conclusions are drawn from the study of the universe. If we conduct research and using universe study, and similarly on other hands we use sampling study, the results remains the same, equally same to all universe as well as sampling study. So, we prefer to use sampling because sampling saves our time, money and labor. Then after selection of sampling, selection of techniques for data collection. When we talk about the collection of data, there are four important techniques available in social sciences. One is schedule, second is questionnaire, third is observation and fourth is interview. There are four means method of data collection under social research. Observation, systematic use of eyes is known as observation. Second is schedule. Schedule is a set of questions asked by the researcher in face-to-face situation with the respondent is known as schedule. Questionnaire is a set of questions sent through the mail or any other method to the respondent, and respondent himself filled in and sent back to the researcher is known as questionnaire. And fourth is interview, when two or more than two persons in face-to-face situation ask and collect the information is known as interview. Which of these methods should be used depends on the nature of the researcher's study subject and the educational level of the respondents and their distribution. If the researchers wants to collect reliable facts, then schedule or interview will be used. If the respondents are educated and spread far and wide, then the questionnaire will be used. When the researcher does not want to talk to any and wants to collect the facts by seeing with his eyes, then observation method is used. On the basis of the subject, researchers select the method for collection of data. After collection of data, the next step is editing of data. The editing part is most important part of research. After the data are collected by one or the other of the above mentioned techniques, then the researcher wants to organize all the data. He will edit for this. While editing, the researcher will pay special attention to two things. Firstly, whether any question has been left out from being asked, and secondly, whether there is any contradiction in the answers received. Meaning of contradiction: if one answer intersects another answer, then it is a contradiction. For example, if in the first question the respondent says that he is unmarried, and in the next, after few questions, when we ask respondent, he says that his wife and children are living with him, then this is a clear contradiction. If any question has been left unanswered or there is a contradiction, the researcher will again go to the respondent and get the correct data. After editing, the next step is coding of data. To facilitate classification and analysis of fact or data, detailed answers are divided into meaningful categories. This work is called coding. In this, the categories made on the basis of answer are converted into a number or symbol. For example, to represent the profession or occupation, doctors are given number 1. If we collect the information about the occupation and we have 4 or 5 categories, first is doctor, then second is lawyer, third is engineer, government employee, so we will give a definite number: doctor 1, engineer 2, lawyer 3rd, and government employee is 4, etc. Coding of data is usually done along with the editing. Similarly, we can give code number. If we ask first question, what is your marital status? Respondent said that one is married, unmarried, widower, divorcee, or any others. So we will give 1.1 married, 1.2 unmarried, 1.2 divorcee, 1.4 widow, 1.5 any others. This type of classification on the basis of number or sign is known as coding of data. Coding is helpful for classification and tabulation. After coding and editing of data, we can classify the data for analysis. After coding, the data tables are prepared. In this, individual data are converted into collective data by keeping them in predetermined categories in classification. And when we talk about the classification, means classify the data into different categories on the basis of similarities and dissimilarities. Similar data in a one class and dissimilar data is on another class. For example, on the basis of place, on the basis of year, we can classify the data. It is kept in mind that there should be a definite and specific basis for the categories. All the collected facts should be included in complete categories, and these categories should be separate from each other. That is, one after coding the data, tables are prepared. In this, individual data are converted into collective data by keeping them in predetermined categories. In classification, it is kept in mind that there should be a definite and specific basis. On the basis of the classification, we will prepare tables. Tables is in the 3 forms: univariate, bivariate, and multivariate. In fact, no reader has the interest or patience to analyze the tables himself. So, we have to analyze, we have to interpret the table. It is the researcher who tells which factors are related to which factors and how much and what effect they are having on each other. So, in research, mostly we are preparing 2 types of table. One is univariate table and second is bivariate table, but we never use multivariate table, but in survey we are using multivariate table also. When we talk about the univariate table, it means one variable is present in the table. This is the form of univariate table, in which one item is marital status, that is first category married, second is unmarried, third is divorcee, and fourth is widow. And then we use frequency, that is how much sample we have collected, and then we represent in the form of percentage also. This is known as univariate table. Only one variable is there, then this is known as univariate. When we use two variable, sometimes we want to correlate one variable with another. In that time, in that sense, we use bivariate table. This is a form of bivariate table in which two variables are there. Marital status is one variable and education is one variable. On the basis of marital status, we classified married, unmarried, widow, divorcee, etc. And on the basis of the education, we classified educated, that is literate, illiterate, lower educated, higher educated, etc. So, two variables. Sometimes we want to correlate marital status with education and education with marital status, then we use bivariate table. And when we talk about the multivariate table, in which more than two variables are there, then this table is known as multivariate table. After interpretation of table, all the tables that may be univariate or bivariate, the last step is conclusion. The final stage of social research is to present the results obtained on the basis of analysis in the form of conclusions. These findings should be factual and objective. Also, its presentation should be so simple and clear that readers can easily understand it. An important point about the results is about negative or inconclusive findings. If the researcher feels that his hypothesis is correct, but the result is contradictory, then he should clearly mention it. If there is no clear conclusion based on the facts, if he is unable to come out, then he should not forcefully announce any result, but should mention their inclusiveness, so that in future any other researcher can start from the same point. He should clearly mention the limitations of his results and point out those aspects on which there may be possibility for further research. This will give the direction to the researcher who wants to study in future. So, these are the important steps from selection of topic to the conclusions. So, we can sum up that all humans are researchers who give meaning to explain and predict their social world. This work of researching and theorizing about society covers many subjects. It is clear that research in social sciences seeks to add to the existing knowledge about reality. However, social research is not as simple as it seems, and conducting social research involves research methods, tools and techniques which helps us in causal relationship, interrelationship between variables and testing of hypotheses. It is also clear from the definitions that research is not the work of any common person, but it is a special work which needs to be done by trained and qualified people, so that their reality can be tested and retested in a systematic manner. Therefore, it depends on the disciplinary orientation of the researcher. Social research involves learning something new about the social world. Therefore, a researcher needs to think logically, follow the rules and repeat the steps again and again. These are some steps which we follow to conduct a smooth research or systematic research in the field of society, in the field of social problems, or in the field of social events.